Don't ruin your life. If married, get life insurance, especially if you have children. This advice also applies to committed couples who aren't legally married. People often say that the best way to deal with losing a loved one is to grieve a while, then return to your previous work life. The basic idea is to move on and get back to normal as soon as possible. However, if you truly love your mate and he or she dies, there is no normal to return to. Normal is gone. You'll be emotionally wrecked for a long time, possibly to the point where you won't really give a damn about getting up and going to work, paying the bills, or doing anything else for that matter. Yes, you can get better at temporarily blocking or dodging around your painful thoughts and memories, and you'll eventually get better at compartmentalizing them. But the feeling of loss never goes away. Deep down, you never move on. I tell you this from personal experience. If your mate dies, apathy, depression, or inability to concentrate can make you useless as a business owner or as an employee. If you have children and your spouse previously took care of them, you may have to quit work until you find another caretaker. This is when having life insurance to pay the bills will be a tremendous help and comfort, and perhaps the only thing that keeps you from losing your job, home, car, and other possessions. If you are the one who dies, then your mate will be faced with the same debilitating emotional and financial issues just described. If you were the main source of income and you die with no life insurance or insufficient life insurance, your savings account probably won't support your spouse for long. You can do the math pretty easily. If you have children, the savings will be depleted amazingly fast, and your mate will have the dual problem of finding a job and finding someone to take care of the children if they're too young to be left alone. Furthermore, circumstances may force your mate to take a job that drains the joy and energy from his or her life. This mental and physical deterioration will also affect your children. The bottom line is this: couples without life insurance need to remedy that situation immediately. Don't assume that you're going to die at some point in the distant future. You have no idea when or how you're going to die, or when or how your mate is going to die. I've had a pretty active physical life, and consequently I've come close to dying a number of times. Here's one example. When I was in my 40s, I was living in Los Angeles, just east of Santa Monica. One day I did my usual bike ride to the ocean and back. At the end of the ride, while waiting to cross Wilshire Boulevard to get home, which was less than a minute away, I was actually thinking about how good I felt. The traffic let up and I rolled my bike onto the crosswalk. 5 seconds later, I was lying in the middle of Wilshire with a broken ankle, an injured shoulder, and a big hunk of skin ripped off one elbow. A driver on the far side of the street had turned onto Wilshire and accelerated to avoid an oncoming car, but failed to check the crosswalk before doing so. The car's impact slammed my head into the windshield and caved in the glass. If I hadn't been wearing a helmet, I'm sure I would have been killed. Thinking about how great I felt right before being hit emphasizes my point. You can die at the least expected time. The type of life insurance that's easiest to understand and usually gives the biggest bang for the buck is level premium term life insurance. Buy the most insurance you can afford for both of you and get the longest level premium term you can afford, meaning the longest block of time during which the insurance payment stays the same. I can't give you a figure on how much insurance you need because life situations vary, but there are plenty of sources on the internet that will help you calculate the right amount for your particular situation. A final note: term life insurance premiums can vary greatly. Use the internet, including online price comparison websites, to shop around for the best deal.